here, same time, same place, 11 a.m. Pacific Standard, to explore the strategies, the psychology first and foremost, and then the strategies to powerfully lead both your life and business. Now, this week is a very special episode. We're taking a step back from our series that we've been involved with for about the last 3 months on the 3 strategies to survive and thrive in today's Mach 10 market. Let me make sure and turn my ringer off here as I heard emails coming in. And what we're going to do in this series, as I told you last week, or in this episode rather, is we're going to help you stand up, queue up, and get ready to set some goals, and more importantly, achieve some goals in 2018 as we move into the new year. Now look, before I get into content, which I'm ready to go, if you can tell, let's do a couple of housekeeping items. Please weigh in on Facebook down below. Tell me who you are, where you're from. Say hello. I'll come back and say hello back to you after the fact. And also make sure and remember that share button down there. Help me, help you, help those you love and care about, because everybody, right, is setting goals and intentions this time of year. And here's a fact, most people don't get them. We'll talk about that in just a minute. So if you're on Twitter, please retweet. If you're on Instagram, you can invite and regram. And on Facebook, that share button is really easy. Many of you do this every single week. And so let me do a quick shout out to those of you who do hit this share button almost every single week. And most specifically, those of you who did it last week. Jay Lee, thank you, my friend. Rob Genius, Paul Campbell, Anthony Rogers, David Curlew, Lana Monday, Russ Littow, Sandy Arango, Sean Morse, Tommy Allen Rains, Tony Francis Smith. I'm going to see you, man. He's coming in all the way from the UK to join me on January 7th through 11th for the leadership event. Buckle your seatbelt, Tony. Thanks for sharing last week. Gratitude 24/7, 365. Nora Jones, Sunstar, Susan Norkett. I'm going to see you on the 7th as well, Susan. I'm not reading that one. Who is that, Barry?
Kelton Jetter.
Kelton Jetter. Is that a new name?
Yes.
Kelton. Thank you, bro. Appreciate you sharing, helping me, help you, help those you love and care about. We are all one, and Cottonwood Stone. Thank you, Cottonwood, for sharing. Now, let's talk. All right? Let's talk about goals and intentions, because you, like me, know that most people this time of year set goals and intentions for their lives, and yet very, very few people ever accomplish them. Why is that? You know, Bear and I were working out this morning, and we were talking about, just next week, the gym's going to be full in the morning. It always is. January 1, everyone's going to get in their best optimum health and fitness. And then about the 3rd week of January, you can't get on a machine. You got to wait to get on a machine. You got to wait to get a dumbbell. You got to wait in line to do anything. And then about the 3rd week, it gets back down to normal because everybody is back to normal. Why is that? Why is it that so many people set goals and intentions for their life and for their business, and yet few ever accomplish them? Well, there's a lot of things that could be said, a lot of reasons why that happens. Many of them are like poor habits, right? Lack of follow-through, lack of discipline and willpower. I mean, the list could go on and on. But I believe that many don't accomplish and achieve their intentions and goals, what they desire and deserve in life, because they start wrong. Now, please put this in your notes. The way you start says a lot about how you will finish. Most people go about setting goals and intentions this time of year the wrong way. And when you start wrong right out of the gate, chances are great that you're not going to end up right. Does that make sense to you? Start wrong, you're not going to end up right. And so what I want to make sure that you do is start right this year. And this weekly live cast, as we get together here every single week, is about leadership, right? It's about leadership in both your life and business. And here's the fact, is that leaders have the ability to set and achieve goals, period. In both their life and their business. You with me? Leaders have the ability to both set and achieve goals. One of the primary qualities of true leaders is that they're able to hold the vision regardless of current appearances. Now, let me promise you, this is the most difficult job you will ever have. Because appearances are seductive. Am I right? Appearances are seductive. And leaders, true leaders, have the ability to hold the vision regardless of how things currently appear. And, the wise King Solomon told us how many hundreds of years ago that thousands of years ago, where there is no vision, the people perish. Now, I could spin off today and talk about our country and about our world and the lack of vision that we have right now, because I think we're sorely lacking in vision. I think we're sorely lacking in big ideas. I think we're chunked down into the minutia, and we're chunked down into fear, and we need to chunk back up, and we need to stand up, and we need to take our power back, and we need to get some moonshots. We need to get some big ideas. We need to get something that moves and rattles our heart and soul. Are you with me on this? Because where there is no vision, the people perish. And in the lack of a compelling purpose and vision, pettiness prevails. Wow, that just came out. I didn't plan on saying that today. Write that down. In the lack of a compelling purpose and vision, pettiness prevails. Now, check out your own life. Check out your own household. Find how many times you're caught up in petty things. How are we going to pay the utilities? How are we going to pay the rent? How are we going to do this? How are we going to do that? I'm not saying those things aren't important, but they're petty. They're mundane. They're not a moonshot. You've got to get into a place where you live your life from a place of vision. And vision is not seen with the eyes. Sight is seen with the eyes. Vision is seen through the eyes. Get the difference? Sight is seen with the eyes. It's an observation of an external stimuli. Vision is seeing through the eyes. And let me promise you this, when the vision on the inside becomes more compelling and powerful than what you observe on the outside, the universe shifts. Your entire universe shifts. Are you ready? Tick-tock. Great leaders are able to hold the vision regardless of appearances and current circumstances. They hold the vision not only for themselves, but they're able to inspire others to do the same. Great leaders are what I call reality benders. They're shapeshifters. They're time travelers. They're time warpers. Sound mystical? Sound sexy? It is. But I promise you it is extremely practical as well. In my nearly 3 decades of experience in leadership and studying the things that rattle the world, and rattle my world first, and then rattle your world and rattle the world, I'll just say humbly, I've become a really great reality bender. I'm a real good shapeshifter. I'm a real good time traveler. I'm a real good time warper. And that sounds all mystical and sexy, but the reality is we have to be able to be a reality bender and a time traveler. You must be able to live from the outcome. I talk about this in my book, Harmonic Wealth. Not from the current set of circumstances, but living from the outcome, which means you have to make decisions based upon where you're going versus where you are. And unless and until you're able to do that, you'll be in the very same damn place 1 year from today as you are today. 2 exceptions. You'll be 1 year older and twice as frustrated. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Because you keep doing the same old shit you've been doing all this year, even if it's been good shit, right? Even if it's worked, it ain't going to work going forward because this world is changing rapidly. Are you with me? And you must change with it or you're going to be changed by it and left behind to become a dinosaur and a T-Rex. I've developed over a long career the ability to reality bend, to shape shift, to time travel, to be able to live from the vision versus the current set of circumstances. Most people can never do this. It's the hardest thing. It's the scariest thing that you'll ever do. And yet, unless and until you do this, you'll never, ever, ever, ever come close to a fraction of your potential. Look, if you're going to win and win big in this Mach 10 market, yes, then you're going to have to see beyond appearances. A very wise teacher from the Christian tradition told us, how long ago? Judge not by appearances. Because appearances lie. They tell you nothing about who you are. They tell you who you used to be. Are you with me here today? See, your current appearances are nothing more than the residual outcome of who you used to be. The past thoughts, feelings, and actions, decisions, choices, or lack thereof that you have made that have created the current state of appearances and current state of results. They say nothing at all about what you're capable of and who you're destined to become. Obviously, as a leader, you have to do this for yourself before you can do it for anyone else. You can't give what you don't have. Look, I'm going to share with you today a goal setting and achieving process that my personal clients pay me multiple thousands of dollars for me to work with them on. And I'm going to give it to you here today, absolutely free, because you deserve it. And all I ask is that you use it. Use it and share it. Have you hit that share button yet? If you aren't on fire yet, if you don't know some people that need to hear this message yet, and you haven't hit that share button yet, what the hell are you waiting for? I'm going to give it to you here. And then if you want to explore how we can work more closely together in 2018 to take the lid off and a quantum leap into your future, then you can just click the link here on Facebook somewhere above my head. On Twitter, it's there too. On Instagram, you go to my bio, the link is there. And find out how you can invest 5 days with me in my Leadership for the Future experience. But before we set some goals together here today, for your life and for your business, please write this down. This is important. Write this down. It's not about what you have. It's about who you become. You get that? Write this down. It's not about what you acquire or receive. It's about what you leave when you're gone. One more. It's not about what you have. It's about who you are. Now, if you, like me, got that, then I think you'd have to agree with me that no one is going to come to your funeral and say, damn, he had a great car. Did you see the car he drove? And no one's going to say, yeah, And did you see his house? Oh my God, he had a kick-ass house. No. It's not going to happen. What they're going to do, if anything, is they're going to talk about who you are and what you became and the gifts that you left. Now let's just get our head on straight here today. Because most of the world, the mass mediocre minds, don't have their head on straight. And if you're really, really thinking today, which I hope you are, then here's the secret. Here, remember I said most people start off in the wrong direction, in the wrong way, and that's why they don't end up in the right place with their goals? Because, most say, well, we're moving into 2018. I want to have this new car. I want to have this amount of money in the bank. I want to get this new job. But rarely, if ever, do you hear someone say, it's 2018. I want to become a better, bigger person. I want to be more. I want to give more. Right? Are you with me here? Do your own poll. And then let me repeat, and I ask you to write this down if you didn't get it this time. It's not about what you have. It's about who you become. It's not about what you acquire or receive. It's about what you leave. Again, it's not about what you have. It's about who you are. Now, I'm not suggesting, please understand, some people think that I'm anti-money. I'm not. Not at all. Some people think I'm anti-nice things. No, I'm not anti-nice things at all. I like nice things, and I think you should live a first-class life. One of the things, my first mentor, my first coach was my father, and he taught me, I've had 6 great coaches in my life. And he taught me when I was really, really young, son, it only costs a little bit more to go first class. Right? And so I'm not anti any of those things. I'm pro you getting your head on and you understanding what your life is really about and you remembering the things you've forgotten to remember and forgetting the things you've forgotten to forget and stepping into a place where you remember what your life is all about and who you are. And from that place, then, you can express more fully. Because it's not about what you have, it's about who you are. And who you are will determine what you do and have. Does that make sense to you at all? That's what I'm about. You're never going to see me, on social media going, oh, look at my watch, and look at my car, and look at my plane, and look at my house, and look at my this, and look at my that. No. And there's nothing wrong with those things. But I'm going to constantly say to you, who are you becoming? What are you contributing? What's the meaning and purpose of your life? And are you living it every day and are you truly fulfilled? And then all that other stuff, that's just window dressing. It's just window dressing. And what I am suggesting here today is that as you set goals and intentions for 2018, that you start in the right place. You make the first thing the first thing. Here's the bottom line. Your results are a reflection of you. You want your results to grow? You have to grow. And I know that makes sense to you. Your results are nothing more than a reflection of you. You want your results to grow, then you have to grow. You have to become bigger, better, bolder, stronger, faster, smarter, wiser, more experienced. So the first thing, making the first thing is you. And this is what I call my 1x10 formula. And this is really conservative. I'm being really conservative. Every single dollar you invest in your own development, advancement, and growth will return to you conservatively 10 times over. 10 times over. I was talking to my customer service guy, Gary, last night, and we were talking about some things, some projects we're working on. He said, well, James, most people get it that everything they invest in themselves is going to make them bigger, better people. And so it's going to grow their business and they're going to make that money back in multiples. And I said, no, Gary, you get that. You get that. Because most people don't get it. Someone was talking to my office just this week and saying, well, I can't come to leadership, in January because I don't have the ability to step away from work. Really? Really? What I would say to that is you can't step away from work because you didn't step away a year ago. If you had stepped away and become a bigger person a year ago, you wouldn't be in this same place right now. And unless you do something dramatically different than you're currently doing, you're going to be in the same damn place a year from the days you are today. I've already said this, 2 exceptions. 1 year older, twice as frustrated. Not a pretty picture. Most people don't get it. Most invest more in their marketing than they do in their mindset. You do that, you're already screwed. You're already in trouble. You're already lost. Most companies invest more in their marketing than they invest in product development and personal people development. Now think about this. What does that say? It says they're chasing the almighty dollar. We've got to have this big marketing budget so that we can make more money. But what they neglect to realize is that it's the product, the high quality product, and the high quality masterful people that create the money. They got it all backwards. It's the people that create the dollars. It's the people that create the high quality product. I'm not saying you shouldn't invest in marketing. I do. Of course you invest in marketing. But you should invest at least 10 times more in your mindset than you do in your marketing. Most people don't get it. So that's the foundation. That's the foundation before we get into this process. And if you get the foundation that it's about you, you've got to become more. And you got to start in the right place, then this process is going to make total sense to you. It's going to make total sense to you. And I'm going to introduce you to a model. I've been teaching this since the early 80s, all the way back at AT&T School of Business. And maybe you've seen this before. I don't know. But again, I've been teaching it since the early 80s when I was teaching C-suite executives at AT&T School of Business. And I call this my be-do-have model. All right? So look, I'm going to ask you to reproduce this in your notes, and I apologize that my circles aren't perfect circles, but we do have a target here, all right? And in this outer circle, we're going to write the word have. I also used to teach this in my Harmonic Wealth Weekend. If any of you were there, you might remember this. In this next circle we're going to write the word do. And then finally, in the bullseye, we're going to write the word be. Now look, society programs you that things happen from the outside in. Am I right? Right? Let me give you a couple of examples. If I can have more money, then I'll do the things that I need to do to become a better person and to grow my business, and I will be successful. Wrong. Well, James, if I could have a better job, a different job, then I would do the things to be an ultimate performer, and I would be totally fulfilled. If I could have a better damn husband than this dirty bastard that I'm living with, then I would do the things a good wife and woman would do, and I would be totally in love and happy. No, wrong. If I could have a boss who appreciated me for all that I am, then I would do the things that a high-performing individual would do, and I would be a high-performing team member. Wrong, 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 wrong. If I could just have my own plane, damn it. If I could just have my own plane, then, I could do the things that I want to do and go the places I want to go, and man, I would be the bomb. Wrong, 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 wrong. See, society, I could go on and on, but I think you get the point. Society tells us that things happen from the outside in, but that's not how it works. And you, like me, know deep down inside that what I'm telling you is true. Here's how it works. It works from the inside out. That's how it works. If I can be all that I can be as a human being, as a leader, if I can be masterful, if I can be the greatest human being I could possibly be, then I'll do the things that come from that state of being. And I'll have all the blessings and accoutrements and necessities that come from that. If I can be. How many people do you know that set their goals and intentions from the inside out? I think you'd have to say that 99.9% of the people you know, and maybe even you, until now, have consistently set your goals and intentions from the outside in. And I'm going to say, stop it, damn it. It's stupid. It's just freaking stupid. It has to make sense to you that your results are a reflection of you. And so your total focus should be here. I'm not suggesting we're not going to talk about do and have. We are, stick with me. But, probably out of 100% of your energies, 85, 90% should be right here. And every single dollar you invest right here in you becoming more, particularly in this Mach 10 disruptive market in which we live, it will drive what you do. It will drive what you have. Because you will be a bigger, better, faster, stronger, wiser, smarter person. You'll be masterful. And that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. So, here's the process. As you go about setting your goals, I'm going to tell you the process, and then you're going to just go do it. All right? The first thing you're going to do is you're going to take out a blank sheet of paper, and at the top of that paper, you're going to write B. And then here's the rules. You got to have 5 minutes minimum, and you need to time yourself. 5 minutes, you're going to write down all the things that you choose to be, starting January 1, 2018, and moving into the future. All the things, the person you choose to be. Now, what I find consistently is most people have a hard time here because you've not been encouraged to focus here, all the way back to your dysfunctional school system. It's not your fault. It's your responsibility, but it's not your fault. You have not been taught to focus on the be. You've been taught to focus on the do and the have. Most on the have. Totally bass-backwards. So if you have a hard time thinking about be, then let me just give you some of the things that would be in your be category. Just to give you some examples. Courageous, bold, a risk taker, vibrant, free, calm, peaceful, youthful, energetic, flexible, masterful. You get the point? The B place is value driven. It's character driven. It's who you choose to be. You get it? Masterful, courageous, bold, big thinker, risk taker, flexible, vibrant, vital, alive. And here's the rules. 5 minutes, and your pen or pencil cannot stop moving for 5 minutes straight. It can't stop moving. Now, there's a method to this madness. If you can't think about what to write down yet next, then you sit there and you write down, I can't think about what to write down. I can't think about what else I want to add to my list. I can't think about what I want to be, but I do want to be, and something will come to you. Why? Because emotion is energy in motion. It moves the body to act. And so as you move your hand, you're literally creating motion with the pen, which is bringing up emotion. Does that make sense to you? So it's got to keep moving for 5 minutes straight. Just set a timer with a little ringer that goes off when you're done. And it's got to keep moving for 5 minutes straight. It cannot stop. And again, if you run up against a roadblock, which you may well, then you just write, I don't know what to write next. I don't know what else I got to go for 5 minutes. Damn it, I wonder how much longer is 5 minutes, because this is really, I don't know what else to be. And you write whatever you need to write, full stream of thought, until something else comes to you. Then you're going to go to do. Remember, we're working from the outside in, which is directly contrary to how the mediocre masses work. Right? We're working from the inside out, which is directly contrary to how the mediocre masses work, which is from the outside in. We're starting from the B and we're working outward. We're starting with our bullseye on our target, and we're working outward. So the next is do. And do are things like, just to give you some ideas for your notes, what do I want to do? I want to take some risk. I want to write a book. I want to go to Paris. I want to work out 5 days a week. I want to eat healthfully, eat more salads versus toxic meats. Right? I want to attend one personal development and improvement and performance event, live event, per quarter. Boy, that's a big one. That's huge. Do you know how much bigger you would be if you make that commitment to do that over 2018? At least once a quarter, attend a live event. Online doesn't count because you don't get the same energy exchange online. I want to, what else do I want to do? I want to read one great book a month. One a month. Great autobiographies, great stories that help stretch my mind. Things I want to study and learn and grow into. Okay? These are more activity driven. The do, this is more character driven, values driven. This is more activity driven. And then you're going to have a whole list of those. Again, the pen or pencil cannot stop moving for 5 minutes. You have to keep it going. And then finally, you're going to move to the have. Obviously, we're not going to do this here because we're not going to take the time for 5 minutes of empty space while you do this. You're going to do this on your own. And then the have, these are more tangible. Not always, but typically more tangible. And this is where we can do things like, I want to have X amount of money in the bank, in savings, right? I want to have a healthy body. I want to have, just for some ideas I'm giving you here, I want to have a single digit body fat, right? So in other words, I want my body fat to be 9%, 7%, 5%, whatever. I want to have here's a good one, a connected, communicative relationship that communicates deeply and shares their feelings. That'll change your life. I want to have a $3 million business, you could put. I want to have more leadership ability. I want to have the ability to inspire other people and touch them deeply. I think you get the point. Now, again, 5 minutes. Your pen or pencil cannot stop moving during that entire 5 minutes. Now, what you end up with are 3 lists, be, do, and have. And here comes the hard part, the fun part. So let's say you got 25 things here, and just for example, you got 25 things here, and you have, I want to have that new car. That's okay to have here. I want to have, a new boat. That's all right. If that's what you want. And so you got 25, and given your programming, you probably got 115 here, okay? Because that's how you've been taught. But here's the fun part. Now, you look at your entire list in the B first, and you ask yourself the question, as I look at this entire list, if I could only have one, just one on my list, which one would it be? Now, the first thing you're going to go is, oh my God, James, I'm going to want all of them. Yeah, you probably are, and you can't have them. You can only have one. Just one. And I want you to really go through an analysis process here, because here's what you're going to think about. Which one has to be there first? Who do you have to be first and foremost for everything else to work? Because here's what I found working with over 1 million people from 143 different countries around the world. When you get those top 1, 2, everything else tends to follow. Does that make sense to you? Everything else tends to follow. So if I could only have one, what would it be? And you're going to pick that one. You're going to write it down. You're going to circle it, whatever. And then I'm going to be generous with you and let you ask the question one more time. If I could only have one more, what would it be? And you're going to pick that second one. Out of your entire list, you can only have one more. What would it be? And you're going to end up with 2 things. 2 things that you choose to be in 2018. Out of your entire list you wrote down. And remember, ask yourself, what 1 thing, 2 things have to happen for everything else to occur? Then you're going to go to the same thing on your do list. If I could only have one, what would it be? If I could only do one thing in 2018, what would it be? You're going to write that down. You're going to circle it. Okay, if I could only have one more out of this entire list, what would it be? And you're going to circle that, and you're going to end up with 2 things that are your do, goal, and intentions for 2018. Finally, you probably know the drill, same drill. Out of your whole list of haves, if I can only have one thing, what would it be? You got to get the one first. And then you ask yourself the question, and you have to go into that first question as if you could only have one. Even though you know you're going to have 2, you have to go in the mindset, if I could only have one, what would it be? And you're going to choose it, and then you're going to choose one more, and you're going to end up with 2. Now, what that's going to become is what I call your critical 6 for 2018. Your critical 6 goals, intentions for 2018. And let me promise you this. I've taught this process to countless, hundreds of thousands of people. It works. Because you can't focus on, psychological research tells us that we can focus on 7 plus or minus 2 things at the same time. In other words, 7 plus or minus 2, which means between 9 and 5 things at the same time. You focus on these 6 things for 2018, and you're going to kick butt. You're going to rock your world. And what you'll find, I promise you this, come back and tell me at the end of this next year, that many of the other things that were on the list will happen in the process. When you focus on the first things first, many of the other things are going to happen in the process because they're not nearly as damn important as these critical 6. Now you get your critical 6 goals for 2018. And then what you're going to do is you're going to write them down every single day. When you get up in the morning, this is part of my morning ritual. Studies of ultimate performers, high achievers, the wealthiest individuals in the world, tell us time and time again, they have rituals, they have routines, they do the same things over and over and over again. They invest time in themselves consistently. Every single morning when I get up, I write down my critical 6 for 2017. I haven't set 2018 yet. I'm going to this weekend. I want to share with you first. You're going to write them down every single morning, and you're going to visualize them at least twice a day. And you're going to visualize yourself as if you were there. This is time bending. This is reality bending. This is shape shifting. You're going to put yourself in that position as if you were already there, and you're going to visualize yourself looking through your own eyes. You're going to see what you see, hear what you hear, feel what you feel, just as if you were there right now, when you've already accomplished these things. 2 times a day, most critically important. If you want to do more than 2, then that's powerful as well. But you got to do them first thing in the morning and last thing at night, because the last thing you give to your unconscious before you go to sleep at night is what it has to work with for the entire 6 to 8 hours that you sleep every night. So you want to give it something powerful to work with. Now look, if you're interested in working more closely with me in 2018, I would love to explore that option with you. Just click the link on Facebook above. It's by application only. I'd love to chat with you about it. You know, on Twitter, it's here as well. Instagram, you got to go to my bio. And please hit the share button. Please hit the share button, because you, like me, know that this is a powerful process, and every single person you know, and every single person in your Facebook family, and in your Instagram family, and in your Twitter family and following need to hear this. So just hit that share button and bless them. Help me, help you, help those you love and care about. You know, give me and this content a nice heart, if you will. Just give us a heart if this made a difference for you and is powerful for you and is valuable for you. And finally, you know, Happy New Year. Happy New Year. And I really, truly hope that I get to see you face to face, elbow to elbow. We can roll up our sleeves and get busy together in 2018. And let's get this life-transforming, world-rattling party started in 2018. So until we speak again next week, we'll be back on our 3 strategies to thrive in this Mach 10 market. Until we speak then, which will be our first session in the new year, I hope I've given you some things to think about, and more importantly, to act upon. As always, be a leader, live your purpose, and take your power back.